Right, next we're going to talk about the management panel. It's a touchscreen panel. It's pretty self-explanatory, but let's take a little look through it. What I always like to do when operating the management panel and moving slides out and things like that, I like to start the engine of the RV up, because that's when boondocking, because it gives you a little bit more surge of power to the coach batteries. But if you're connected to shore power, you don't need to do this because you've got the power from the campsite. Okay, so I'm going to turn on the key on the engine. Okay, and make sure your foot brake is on when you do that, and that way some of these things have safety features, and by putting the foot brake on, it knows that you're not driving, and it will allow you to extend the slides. Okay, and right here I want you to look down here. Do you see this voltmeter now has gone to 14? So that's giving you a little bit more power, so that when we operate the slides, we've got that power. All right, so this needs to be on, and your main power needs to be in the on position as well. You'll touch to unlock it, and you have a few options here. The very first one, we'll just press it. Okay, that's for the awning light. So outside, there's an awning. When it is extended, you can opt to have the awning light on. Right now, it's in the off position. And then top left is your home screen, and takes us right back to home. Next is, let me take you back there, the picture of a sort of a levels there, if you like. You push that, and this is your level monitor, and it tells you how full or empty your tanks are. So right now it's saying my coach battery is around 14, which is brilliant, and it's like that because I have the engine on. If I didn't have the engine on, that would drop to about 12.2, like I showed you in the other video. Next, you have your fresh water tank. We're going to be hitting the road later on today, so I filled up the fresh water tank, or not filled it up, I put it about halfway, 2/3 of the way there. So that's so I can, if we need to use the bathroom or the sinks, we can do that. Grey tank and the black tank, they're both empty, which is brilliant. And I would come here and look here. Remember in another video I told you about empty them once they're about halfway or 3/4 full. This is how you can tell how full they are. And also, when you're filling up your water tank, how do you know when you filled it up? Well, there's two ways of knowing. Either come here and look at the fresh water gauge, or when it's full, there's actually an overflow option, where water will actually overflow onto the floor outside. So there you go. Oh, and this last one is your LP gas. That is propane. That's telling us we've got a full tank of propane, which is great. You just need to return it full. All right, going back to home. Okay, this one is your slides. Okay, and you've got three options. You've got the sofa. You've got three slides on this RV. One by the sofa / dinette, the main bed in the back of the RV, and the bunk beds in the middle of the RV. And it's real simple. There's an arrow to open, or there's an arrow to close. If I want to open it, I just push and hold, and you can actually see now the slides open. Push that one, and the slide will close. Okay, I will tell you, I thought I was going a little bit crazy here. The bed one, the bunk beds. The bunk beds are on your left-hand side. So I thought, okay, I'm on the left and I need to push it that way. But no, if you look at the picture, it says you have to go, the slide's out and the arrow's that way. So I want to go this way. and that will open the bunk beds. Okay? You'll probably make that mistake as well, but don't worry about it, you'll figure it out. And that closes that. Okay, so that's the 3 slides and how to operate them. Oh, I wouldn't, first when you make camp, I would go ahead and connect your water, your electricity, and your sewer. Go ahead and connect them before you extend the slides, because otherwise you have a risk of hitting your head when you're bending down and getting up. I've done it a number of times. All right, home. Next one is the awning. Simple, in and out. Little tip here is if your keys are in the ignition and the foot brake is not on, then the awning will not extend. Never leave your awning unattended. Never leave your awning out overnight, because all it takes is a pretty severe gust of wind of 20 miles an hour, maybe 25 miles an hour, and you can damage the awning. That's pretty expensive. So never leave your awning unattended. Okay, back home. All right, where should we go now? Let's go to the generator. Okay, generator. Couple of rules to consider on the generator. Number 1, the generator will not work if your fuel tank is around a quarter of a tank. It's the RV's way of saying, hey, you need to get yourself to a gas station, put more gas in the vehicle first before you use the generator. And the reason why is the generator uses the same fuel that powers the RV. Okay? And if this red light says here, it says press off to clear. So first of all, you press off, and then you want to go to manual operation. And then with manual operation, you just want to push and hold on the start button. You'll hear it running. And then it will fire up. Wait a second, release. Okay? And then when you want to turn off the generator, let me just go back home. You'll go back to generator, you'll say manual operation, and you'll just press stop. Simple as that. All right, what next? Okay, now we're into the water and utilities, and you have 5 options on the side here. The first 4, remember you have 2 bathrooms. So first one is the water pump, the front area of the RV, so that's the kitchen and the first bathroom. The rear water pump is the rear bathroom, and also the washer and dryer that's back there. You've got a water heater on the front, that's to heat your water in the kitchen and the first bathroom, and a water heater in the rear. And then finally you have a tank heater, and that's if you're in conditions that are approaching below freezing. Obviously you don't want your water freezing, so you're going to go ahead and you're going to enable your water tanks heaters so that they stay above freezing. And it's pretty simple to operate. All you do is you go to whatever you want. At the moment it says off. I'm just going to go ahead and click it, press it once, and it'll go in the on position. And that's your heaters. All right, what's next? This is your air conditioning and also your heater as well. So pretty simple. Again, you got use 2 different zones, living room and bedroom. Remember, you must be plugged into 50 amp service to use them both at the same time. If you're not, if you're only running off your generator, or if you're only plugged into 30 amp service, you can only use one at a time. And all you do is it's pretty easy. You set your heat to cool. You press whether you want it warmer or colder, and it does the rest for you. Okay. Okay, that's that one. And then the last one is just to lock the screen, and that is the management panel.